Yes.
Good evening. After your great show, we thank you again for having us and to do this interview.
Of course.
Thank you a lot.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
It's the second time I think that you are in Peer. Here in Peer the second time? 2023 I think you already were? No.
At this festival?
No? First time?
No.
No, I think this is my first time because I think we originally booked during the pandemic and then it got canceled, right?
Yeah.
It's a blur. It's a blur.
It's a detail. Let's forget
Yeah.
it. For the people from Roostime, we are doing things for Roostime. I want to introduce you somewhere. Born in Kansas City, Missouri,
Yes.
the city of the fountains, many water inside.
I was just telling somebody about the city of the fountains the other
Yeah.
day because I think we were like number 2 as far as the quantity of fountains, and forgive me if I'm wrong, somebody told me this, but we were like number 2 in the world or something for the number of fountains per capita or something.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Kansas City, the fountain
And the
city.
city of the famous steakhouses.
Steakhouses, barbecue, we got blues, we've got
The Golden
baseball, we've got
baseball,
football, we got a lot of good stuff there. Music.
And they have also a great artist called Samantha Fish.
Oh,
Singer-songwriter, guitarist, call it whatever you want. Do you think that you were destined to become a musician? I ask you that because your sister is also a musician.
yeah.
Is it because of the family, the environment? I don't know, but
I think both her and I had interest in music.
Yeah.
But I won't say that, it's hard to say like anything is destined because it took a lot of work,
Yeah.
It wasn't like it just happened,
Yeah.
I feel like it was something that, I don't feel like I was naturally super gifted. Like my
Yeah.
sister's very gifted.
Oh.
And I felt like I really had to go and
you have to do a lot of,
I felt like I had to really work
yeah.
really hard to
get-
get just like an
Yeah.
ounce of the talent she had really naturally, But so I don't know if it's like predestined or anything, but I will say that once I decided I wanted to do it, nobody was going to change my mind about it. So I just went for it, and every
you went
day,
for it.
every day was like one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
A very intentional, slow growth.
You had to work for it
Yeah.
to get where you're today.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Your style is described as blues rock, is that correct? Or you would call it larger? You're a blues rock artist, or
Yeah, I
No.
think so. I feel like I'm not sure. Sometimes I think people hear blues rock, it's just a bad word or something.
no? Yeah, I know, but it's so difficult to describe it because
But it is.
you do blues, you do a mix of styles, I think.
Well, I love the blues. I feel like everything I do is rooted in that style. I also love rock and roll. I love the energy and the angst and just like this raw delivery. I love trying to compel people, and I feel like the blues and rock and roll are definitely like hand in hand in a lot of things. But I also love soul singers, and I've tried to emulate my favorite soul singers over the years. And I love pop hooks. I love big choruses, and and I love country music songwriters. I love the storytelling component of music. So for me, like, it's all these things that I really like, and then just filtered through.
But I think a lot of people like to hear you playing the hard stuff,
Yeah, well,
the
that's
rock.
what gets people headbanging. My job is to get them moving, and really, I feel like the job is you got to engage them. You want them to. Of course, everybody wants to headbang and rock, but you can only get beaten over the head for so long with it before you have to take them on a different journey. So the show's got to be about dynamics too. You have to bring it down and talk to people.
Before we go to your albums,
Yeah.
you did your show. You were. How was the show for you?
I thought it was good.
You were
Yeah, they were a great crowd. They were
complete
energetic.
fool. But again, it was just great.
Thank you.
Your albums. Let's go to your latest one.
Sure.
You did Faster, you did with Jesse Dayton an album, but the last one is called Paper Doll.
Yeah.
Paper Doll. What's in a name?
What's in the name?
Yes.
So, really the song Paper Doll.
You did it today?
Yeah, we did
Yes,
it. We did it today. Yeah.
I think the second or the third song.
Second song.
Was
Yeah.
Paper Doll.
So Paper Doll, I wrote about.
Do you think some other people understand what you're singing about? Because I think when you tell the story about Paper Doll, it's more than what we think that it is.
Well, I think when you read the lyrics or you
Yeah.
like really paying attention, I think if you're really thinking about the lyrics, and a lot of people, I mean, some people really dissect lyrics, and because it's a story. It's about, and you want to relate to it. So a lot of people go and look up the lyrics or like really listen close and try to find the story. And I feel like, that song is really about, how women in society are kind of pushed into these roles, and you're expected to be perfect, right? Like this carbon copy, like a, very perfect presentation, and nobody is like that. We're very rarely going to succeed in that with those rigid kind of heights. So for me, the song Paper Doll is really about defiance and saying, this is who I am on my terms.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of an empowering statement, but it's said with a little, spit and angst, and,
It's your first album that you've done with your tour band.
Yeah.
Yeah, with when I'm correct, drummer Jamie Douglas,
Yep.
with Ron Johnson
Yep.
and
Ron
Mickey
Johnson.
Finn.
Yeah.
Was it your choice to do it that way with the band?
Yeah, I mean, it was
Because
really every album is about, the right thing happening at the right time. I mean, it's a lot of things have to fall into place perfectly, really. And this was just the perfect time to do something with the band. I've got a great touring band. My producer came and saw a show. Bobby Harlow saw a show of ours back in March last year, and he loved the live band. He thought that needed to be captured. And we were on the road like non-stop all summer long. So it was like there was no pre-production with another band or another scenario. It was like we went to the studio on every day off we had
that you had
between
free,
shows.
and you went to the studio.
Yeah.
The producer was Bobby Harlow.
Yeah.
Okay, the right choice,
I think so.
For you,
I
yeah.
mean, Bobby produced a record for me back in 2016 called Chills and Fever, which was a great album for me, and definitely helped me grow as a musician. And honestly, looking back on that experience, he's probably one of he's pushed me harder than maybe any producer.
He
ever.
gave you enough space to.
In a way, but I will say Bobby, when he hears something that he thinks you can do, he's gonna push you until you can get it.
To do it better.
He's pushing you to be great, and there were times with Bobby, like on the Chills and Fever record, I remember going like, that's too weird, I don't want to do that. And then, after a few years of growth, I look back on that session like, wow, I really grew a lot as a person by working with Bobby. He pushed me, and I got better for it.
That's the important thing that you say after the. Yeah.
So I wanted to bring him in to do it again. Maybe better again, Bobby.
You wrote all the songs yourself? Or?
I wrote them, but I also co-wrote.
Yes.
I had songwriting partners, and we worked together on,
You know how the album is described in the reviews? One of the most complete to date.
Oh wow! Damn.
I think this must be uplifting, a great feeling for you. Do you feel that way, that it's a good album, that it's...
I feel very proud of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my most recent work, so I feel like it's the closest thing to who I am today. And as time goes on, I'll evolve and want to do different things, but right now it's the closest thing to who I am right now. So I'm really excited about it. I love it, and I'm proud of what we did because it was a difficult record to make, and I feel like we got some good stuff out of it.
And what will be the next step? Do you have already ideas in your mind that you say for my next album? When I go,
I do.
When I do the next step, that will be.
Yeah, I do. I have. I definitely have ideas for where I want to go in the future. it's just a matter of I have a lot of things I want to do, and that's the hard part as an artist is you want to go in all these different directions. So then you have to like laser focus on something and get that and go for that. Sorry.
Go on.
Go on.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
But
no,
you say you will always go on,
Yeah, you
to
have
the
to.
next step.
You always have like a million things you want to do as an
Yeah.
artist, and I think it's hard to sometimes focus and get one and like go, okay, I'm gonna forget all this other peripheral stuff and just go direct for what I need
Yeah.
to do here. But you know, I have some ideas. I'm honing in on the next one right now. So
Top secret.
of course it is.
A bit secret, yeah.
The new record just came out like a month ago, so if I have a new one already.
Samantha, I give you free promotion time.
Oh,
Give
thank
us
you.
some reasons why people should buy your album.
Oh God.
Okay, just in a few words. You don't have to do it in.
Well, because I mean,
It is a Samantha Fish album.
it's a Samantha Fish record.
Very important.
Also, I'm very proud of it. I think it's really great. I think it's going to speak to your soul and your heart. But also, it's hard to get people to buy music these days. So if you want to support the arts, go ahead. That's the best way.
In your career, I can say that you can look back on a lot of awards, festival headliners, Grammy nominated, and is there something missing in your?
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's things I want to do, but it's a matter of I don't know. I'd love it to be Grammy winning. That'd be kind of fun.
You will do that.
That'd
I'm
be
sure
nice.
about that.
I'd love to play. There's some venues that I really would love to play. You know, I'm really fortunate that I've gotten to mark quite a few things off of the I want to do that list.
Still open items on your bucket list.
Always are, you know. And the thing is, the more you do, the more you write down. You know,
That's good. That's good.
you're always moving the goalposts anyway. But for me, it's like I'm still excited to be doing stuff, and I think that's the most challenging thing is to stay
Important thing, yeah.
engaged and inspired, and you know.
An artist like you do a lot of touring. Do you have still free time? Time for a walk in the park or maybe a hobby? I don't know. Go fishing.
Hobby?
Go fishing, or I don't know. But do you have still free time?
Yeah, I
Or
mean.
do you need some free time?
Well, this is like you've caught me like in the middle of a very long tour, so free time is at a premium, but we get days off, and really, you know, on the road when I have free time, you know, if I'm not trying to write music or do something creative, I like to be a tourist in the town that I'm in. Like like yesterday we had a day off in Cologne.
Hello.
Cologne, you know what I'm saying. And I got to go walk around and look at the cathedral, and that's beautiful. You know, we get to go to some really incredible places, and you know, it's important to leave the environment and go and experience a little bit of it, even if it's just for 20 minutes. Take a walk.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a last question, Samantha. Do you think, how long are you a musician? Many years? 10, 20, 30 years?
I started playing drums at 13, guitar at 15.
15. Oh,
15, so 20 years.
20 years being a musician. Do you think that music has changed you as a person?
Totally, yeah. When I started playing guitar, I often think about like who I was as a kid and how I would be probably so uncomfortable knowing that I'm in front of people now, because I was very shy. I was really introverted. Honestly, I feel like music gave me a confidence and an ability to connect with other people that I didn't have. And so as a young person, it became like the way that I connected with the world.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've definitely changed who I am. I'm more extroverted now. You know, like you just become more comfortable, and you know, at least I became more comfortable in who I am.
So we can say that you would do it over again.
Yeah, a thousand times in 1,000 different ways. You know, I think at the end of the day, I really my heart is on the stage, and it's you know, performing, and it's you know, putting something into a
Having
song.
people around you, before you, and communicate
Yeah.
with your music to the people.
But it's putting your heart into a song
Yes.
and knowing that it's connecting to somebody
Yeah.
else. You know, the music is our universal language, right?
That's right.
It's the one thing that can truly connect every human being, I think, on this
No
planet.
calls, just
Yeah.
the words and your guitar.
Yeah, we all got hearts and feelings and souls and stuff. So you know, music is what makes it work.
Mrs. Samantha King, again, thank you a lot. That were my questions, and thank you for your roots type, I will say.
My pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.